Alright, we are back. Let's see what Queen Speen has to say. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. So let's head to this place, the outskirts, and see what we can learn. Perhaps about Speen as well. And I just realized I read all of that muted. Yeah, if you can't tell, I took some time beforehand or after last video, and I got all my aether currents.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen Speen? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
You look well, Paquine. And Catogne, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
I just realized something.
That's it. Beautifully put.
Everyone has the thing except her.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuk-Lamat and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk-Lamat is still so young. Where are my manners? I am Papone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa?
Kafkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Oh. Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
Something doesn't feel right about this.
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
No. No, please don't tell me that.
I have a question, Pepone.
Oh boy.
Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Papone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
Wait, 30 years?
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Okay, that line makes a lot more sense now.
30 years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome. I cannot say for certain, but I strongly suspect that to be the case. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the Source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information.
So then Aaronville's mother
Sven,
is dead.
would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zoralja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all, and I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine, and that's enough for me.
I wonder if you die here, do you become one of the robots? Because Sven looked to the side. She literally looked to the side as the robot passed. So I actually wonder. So this is technically 30 years into the future. Electrop has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people want to preserve the old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. You went through such lengths so that cultures could coexist, even doing so far as learning our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimum effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. And I'm sure there is much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. It just feels so weird. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanation, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Upio's Hollow, it's called. Or Upio's Halo. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to the farm. Bad feeling about that. Just reading that dialogue just now over there that these two are having. One of my friends was just assigned the role of hunter. God, that wish it were me. If only I'd passed the exam. What book was that? I remember reading a book where it was like, oh yes, and you want to what is it? It was like you kind of take an exam and you're given like this title and whatnot, but you're actually killed. It's something like that. It's really weird. You're like, you are quote unquote sacrificed so that for the greater good of the land. It was something weird like that. Allow me to introduce to you Mahusa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's versed in a myriad of farming techniques. Indeed, a wealth of knowledge she has shared. The wealth of knowledge she has shared with other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Sveen, to what do I owe the sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, so I invited them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's alright. So the rumors of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of hosts would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty also needs to check on things here. You know me well. I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. It would appear we have our permission, so please walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go on ahead. I'll keep Sveen company. Don't misunderstand. I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point. But be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wukelmot's watchful eye. Pray, come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with other farmhands. Okay. Sveen and Zeralja have done something. Like, I almost wondered, did Zeralja come in on a murdering spree and kill everybody? And, like, because I'm noticing the diode, I'm gonna call it, is on everyone's head, but it's not on Sveen's. I mean, sure, she's queen, but that's the thing. If she's queen, I would almost expect her to have, like, several As if it's an establishment of, like, rank. Considering Zeralja has one. Light levels appear to be fine. And as for power source... You wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understood how to best carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The sky and land being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. But honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I did not grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. So then what does actual Alexandria look like? Granted that I probably was running around it earlier because the other side of the wall does not look like this. But I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to focus more on the map so I wouldn't really, like, take in everything. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site, then. Well, this here's the storehouse. Or rather, the entrance. Oh, so it's underground. The real storehouse is underground. Much more spacious and equipped with a temperature regulation system that keeps the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes a variable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even had a few beds. Got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electrope complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I presently oversee the storage of harvest crops. They'll be taken to the tower for processing, and from there, find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. So this is 30 years in the future. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That true? Yep. Is it so? Oh, so it is. Which means we are connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with my life here in Alexandria. But setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job's a job. Well, I need to get back to it, but it was nice talking to you. Give my regards to the Queen. Letty, don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would be hard-pressed to deal with such things. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers. Then let us return to Mahusa. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? It feels a little too, like, robotic. A curious conversation. Do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's true that the people on the outskirts seem the most fulfilled. Always. They take to their duties with good cheer. And what do you think of our little tour, Lamachi? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we have no need for titles or formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. The machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. Here we go. We could take care of it if you like. That's most gracious of you to offer, but it's much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the valve resolve of Tuliolol. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. Sapphire is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us as long at all. Then very well, I gratefully accept, but please take care. This ought to go faster if you and I search for the lightning charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. both alright, thank goodness. You really needn't have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat during dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried, you're my dear guests. But thank you, we truly appreciate this. Indeed, with this, we won't have to ask Zoologist machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to boost his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Spain. That's enough. If you have grievances, I will hear them later. But to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folks here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Sven. That I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. For you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is oh, I hate this word. Unconscionable. Ugh. Blech. Now, I believe we are done with the farm, so let's move on, shall we? It's interesting that what Fiend just said. So perfection is a must. I don't like it. That doesn't sit well. And a third one by accident. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. Thanks for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us anytime.
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you.
Wait a minute, is that? It
I feel,
is.
Namika. Everything is going to be all right. What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her.
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me. Wuklamat.
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
I don't like the sound of that, soul cells.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
Okay. I think I pieced it together. The people live off of soul energy, so when one person dies, they get integrated into everyone else. Just because they're like soul cells, you're living off the souls of other... Oh, that has a dark tone to it.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
it's not the end. Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
By Zeralja's
If
entrance?
I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sven's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder.
I don't like how she keeps changing the subject.
Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zeralja resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zeralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father, and to do so, I intend to take Zeralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa? You might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
Why do I feel like the Thunder Yards are like a giant scrap heap of like broken soldiers? Like, it's something about that I don't like. What the heck?
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
He got an update. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh God, am I right?
We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is?
Oh,
You're in charge
dark.
here. She was under your care.
That's really dark.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
They turn you into, so essentially they kind of turn you into data or cell souls. Okay, so I think they turn you into cell souls. So when you die, you absorb, you live off of cell souls. You only have a certain amount of cell souls, like a battery. Once you run out of battery, you then are recycled and distribute out as a cell soul, or cell souls to those who are still living. Oh, that's dark and gross. Oh, I have a feeling that's what's going on, and that is just ill. What's going on? How could Pione suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same have happened to others as well? I wonder. There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetherite. Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee you that's what's happening. Because everyone has one of these. What if everyone is dead? What if everyone is dead and they're just kind of like pseudo-living? Oh God, what if, okay, so hear me out. What if Sveen was a lonely little girl who watched everyone around her die in some great catastrophe? I'm like spitballing and going off the rails now. And she was the only one left alive, but through all this tech, somehow, as people died, their brains came online, and those and others that died became soul cells, and pretty much it's a weird symbiotic relationship of, well, I can't die, everyone else can, I'm going to keep you all alive by, when someone else's battery runs out, you absorb them into you and you keep on living. An old woman named Namika? I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. Because that's like literally what evidence is starting to point to. I probably shouldn't have gone up. Oh, no, I'm okay. What's that? Do I know a Namika? Never met anyone by that name. I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If she spent time here, I would remember. This is very saddening. Like, this is almost as bad as Amaranth. Like, seriously. I do recall caring for someone until recently. And you say it was a woman named Namika? While I can't say for certain if it was her, I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. This is a very this is dark. Like, this is very dark. I was wondering where the dark turn was gonna come. Because I'm like, this is a little too, like, yay, right of secession, war, okay, standard stuff. And I'm like, there's gonna be a really dark turn in here. We just got to that turn. So it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from all their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of aether corresponding to the Act 2. It seems I sense none in that moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Paone seemingly forgot, the light on his device, on his head, began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. But whom might we ask about this? If we continued making inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed, if we can't readily resolve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we can search for Kia instead. Scene said try the Thunder Yards. Should be in this direction. What in the world is that? We have a spy. Impossible. Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. No. No, we don't need to destroy it. We need to capture it and question it. We should give chase. I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you alright? It looks like you've seen a ghost. Nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's track it down. I was really hoping this video wouldn't be over an hour, but it's going to be over an hour. It's just going to have to be. You found it? To the northeast. It must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could be a trap. Let us not rush in so quickly. Watch, there's an underground resistance group. I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. This may be a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna come across like an underground resistance group that are opposing the Queen and Zeralja. I can hear them, several people up ahead. I can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Let's keep on guard, or let's keep going and stay on guard.
What is this?
Aaronville!
A trap?
No, they don't have the things on their head.
Ellen, this It really is you!
Huh?
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light. I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Elanaspia!
His mom?
My darling, what now?
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun.
Oh yeah, that's his mom.
What are you doing here? What brings you all this way? Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I'd know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Elanaspia was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, but this won't do. Come in, come in! Friends of my Elanaspia are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Okay, yeah, this has to be some, like, rebellion group. They probably refuse to go with what Sphene is
Just when I
doing.
thought I was starting to get a handle on this place. How are things still getting stranger?
As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think a few people who, in the world, quite so spirited. But as to what happened, we'll need to ask her. Alright. Until then, be good to yourself, be good to others, and take care of each other. Laters.